morality of the ayahs, the do's and the don'ts, remember one thing. You see, every human being has to go through the process as Allah has ordained. Except for Jesus being a born prophet, no man every man has to go to the wrong track first. Even if you teach him the right, correct thing to the child, with your best possible way, the moral consciousness of the Quranic ayats, he will not believe in practice. The reason is that he is going through a process of age. You can't accept a 14-year or 13-year-old kid to be morally conscious like you. You have gone through all the wrongs you have done, the guilt should be there. How the moral, whenever you do mistakes, anybody, I'm talking about adults, when we come to realization that we have done mistakes and we are accountable for that, it's a turning point that has to come from Allah. So you can't teach the children what is right and wrong, and even if they know this is right and wrong, they will do wrong. If they know also, it's a human, it's there, built in. You can't expect a child to know from the very child, this is right, this is wrong. He will repeat it to you, this is right and wrong. But he in the life, he will lie to you and doing wrong. That's the situation. So in spite of the fact, educating the Quran also, people say, well, from the childhood we must teach the Quran to the child. Child is a child. He thinks you are a backward person. So you want to go forward in life. He thinks that he knows more better than you. So he wants to live the life as you were young and you led the life. You now making your child to do what you are doing at this old age, not properly also. You are not even so inspired to do the right way. So you see, this is why even in people who are being educated in the schools of religion, they have just memorized it. They have got good brains, they have understood it, but they don't practice. They are just giving sermons for the people to educate. This is what Quran says or what this religion is. But don't expect the young kid to practice. Until Allah guides. Guidance is something else and knowledge is something else. I know something but I am not guided towards it. So children can know in a young age this is right and wrong. But maybe what age he may take the guidance. Guidance is totally a different thing. When you guide yourself, then you make sure that you follow. So teaching, we should teach the children from the childhood. People think, I have not studied, I must make sure that I must teach my children right. Because I was ignorant of so many things, so that doesn't mean he will take guidance. Guidance is you turn your life towards Allah and you are conscious of it and you want to amend your life. So you can't expect a young child, until it's an exceptional case, that he wants to be right in the nearness of God from the very childhood. Masses, I have not come across that children are living or conscious of the Quran or taking guidance. They may be memorizing, they memorize in the schools and get A grades. This is going on. So Surah Mumtahinna 60 verse and ayah 12. Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu idha ja'aka al-mu'minat yubayi'naka ala alla yushrikna billahi shay'a wa la yasriqna wa la yaznina wa la yaqtulna awladahunna wa la ya'tina bi buhtanin yaftarinahu bayna aydihinna wa arjulihinna wa la ya'sinaka fi ma'rufin fabayi'hunna wastaghfir lahunna Allah inna Allah ghafur rahim. O Prophet, when believing woman comes to you to make a deal with you, over that they will not associate anything with Allah, and they will not steal, and they will not commit adultery, and they will not kill their children, and they will not come with a slander or false charge, inventing for that which is between their hands and legs, and they will not disobey you in that which is known, acknowledged. Then have a deal with them and seek forgiveness for them from Allah. Surely Allah is all forgiving, merciful. In this ayah, the role of mother is coming. and a very important ayah. You see, it says believing women. Again, I'm talking, these ayahs are referring to believing men and believing women. It's not referring to non-believers or who are not practicing. O Prophet, when believing woman comes to you, you have a deal with you over that they will not associate with Allah. This is one point. They will not associate with Allah anything. They first have to make Allah as the judge. Do not associate with anything Allah. They will not steal. This is for men also, but specifically here is mentioned with women. They will not commit adultery. Men also committing adultery, but women also if commit adultery. So it's specifically a woman. And they will not kill children. So if I read all this, and she is married, the son is seeing or the daughter is seeing that my mother is stealing, my mother is committing adultery, my mother is slandering, putting a false charge on people. Is it not killing the children? Children will be killed. How could a son or a child, when he sees his mother doing all these wrong acts, because everything, the spirit of Allah, the essence of Allah is within our conscience, in our minds, in our hearts, the truth. So when Allah is specifically telling to the women here, not to men, because if the man also does, it affects the child, but it affects more if the woman does. Because they are born of a woman. Children are born of a woman, they are more attached to women. So that is why Allah said they will not associate anything with Allah. So they will not steal, that means the child will be affected. They will not commit adultery, the child will be affected. They will not kill their children. And they do not come with a slander or false charge, inventing for that which is between their hands and in their between their legs. Putting a false charge that this guy is after me. They will not disobey you in which is known. They will not disobey the Prophet which is right and known and acknowledged. Then have a deal with them and seek forgiveness for them from Allah. So why I'm telling you this is a specific deal in the Quran. All these acts are also committed by man. Believing men also doing all this. But in the Quran it is specifically related to women because they share a more responsibility, in other words, because they carry the child in 9 months in the mother's womb and then they breastfeed them and finally they are attached, the children. No matter whatever the father thinks that he can attract their children more, they will never be. The children are always attached to mother more than fathers. So though no child or son or a daughter cannot see their mother wrong. They can't see the father also wrong. But father, they can have an opposition. They can stand against the father, but it is very difficult to stand against the mother. Because they were all the time taking everything, asking from their mother. So that is why in the Quran there is no confrontation anywhere whatsoever between mother and the son or the daughter. It is always a confrontation between the father. So that is why this ayah is specifically mentioned in the Quran for women, believing women. They have to be more careful. Why? Because they have to play the role of a mother. And it is a heavy role on mother to get involved into all this act, because no son or a daughter will like it. And in the Western society or the society where there is a free society, all these happenings are going on there, and the rate of divorce is multiplied, every time it's multiplied, because everything is going in this manner. So it is not specifically west or east. It is, what I am saying is that these laws, that they will not steal, they will not commit adultery, they will not kill their children, they will not come to a slander or false charge, inventing for that which is between their hands and legs, they will not disobey you in which is known, acknowledged, then have a deal with the believers women and seek forgiveness for them. So women should be more conscious or cautious. They are already, but they should be further more conscious or cautious. Why Allah addressed in the Quran, the Nabi, the Prophet should make a deal with the believing woman. Because these are all parents' relationship with the children. And in this ayah, mother is related. And in Surah Al-Isra 17, ayah 31, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ خَشْيَةَ إِمْلَاقٍ نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُهُمْ وَإِيَّاكُمْ إِنَّ قَتْلَهُمْ كَانَ خِطًا كَبِيرًا. And you do not kill your children from the fear of poverty. We give sustenance to them and to you. Surely their killing is a big mistake. Now how once physically killing the children and psychologically killing the children? How would you kill physically? Can a person kill his child physically? So normally people have taken this ayah as in the state of abortion. You see, they think when a woman is pregnant and the child's formation starts, it's not a child, it's a development of formation of a child within the womb. Finally, when it is given, the child is even given birth, is a child, alive or dead. When it is alive, that is your alad, that is your walad, boy or a girl, that is child, not in the womb. So when she or this child is born, how a man or a woman or the parents kill their child psychologically or physically? Because of imlaq. Imlaq means poverty. The reason is poverty. So I don't know you have heard or not, there are people in rural areas, they sell their children. Do you know about it? They sell their children. That's the killing. Because they are so poor, they are producing children and they are selling like commodities. One of the reasons. Or then they might motivate them to steal. Because they are poor. They make, you see on the street, you see small little kids for beggars. They are used as beggars. The small little kids, you have got, you have feelings for this little boy who's asking on the street. You may misuse them, you're killing their child because he doesn't want to beg, but he is being forced to beg because of poverty. There can be many reasons for, you are killing the children because of poverty, men and women both. Or you think because of the class, that if I've got many children, I will not be able to give education properly because I don't have finances. So they have family planning and they don't produce children. This is also withholding, because the more you think in your way, because Allah says, we provide sustenance to you and to them. So if you think that you are the judge, that if I will have more children, I cannot give time and I cannot give them proper education, it is your thinking. So you stop it and you don't want to have more children. You have 2 children. And then these very 2 children make a first to you. 2 or 3 or 10, that doesn't make a difference. The thing is that you should not kill your children due to, you think it is poverty, I'm not producing more children, I'm a poor fellow, how can I have so many children? So this Quran says that do not kill your children for the fear of poverty. We provide you sustenance to them and to you also. So this is also very important, that people are killing because of their poverty. Now this ayah refers to wives and the children. I have dealt this ayah because the children is also mentioned in this verse. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu inna min azwajikum wa auladikum aduwwan lakum fa'dharuhum wa in ta'fu wa tasfahu wa taghfiru fa inna Allah ghafurur rahim. O you believe, surely amongst your pairs or wives and your children are enemies for you. So be cautious of them, and if you pardon and shake hands and forgive them, then surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. This is a very beautiful relationship with children. You see, Allah addresses to the believers that not everyone, but from the children, from amongst your wives. Azwaj means wives who are your pairs, believers, because addressing to the believers, so they may be believing. And your awlad, means your children, are enemies for you. Are enemies for you. So be cautious of them. And if you pardon them and forgive them, surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. How can the children be an enemy to you, the believers? The most important thing is the shaitan. Shaitan creates disunity and disharmony anywhere in any relationship. So being a believer, the children can be enemy to you if they follow the shaitan or they are inspired by the shaitan. So you want to try to guide them, but they don't listen to you. So what you have to do? You beat them? No. You be cautious of them, and if you pardon them and shake hands and forgive them, surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. This is an act of the parents towards, or the father towards the children. Understanding that they should forgive them, shake hands with them, and surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. This is the duty of every parent if they find their children are in strong opposition. You see, there are children who are psychological disorder, or sometimes the parents have psychological disorder. Then you must see and concern a psychiatric treatment or doctor. If they are normal and creating troublemaking, then you must be cautious of them. Keep in mind they can use your feelings. They can use your emotion to misguide you. Or you should be distracted from the remembrance of Allah. Distracted from the remembrance of Allah. Shake hands and forgive them, and surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Further it says in this continuity, إِنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ وَاللَّهُ عِنْدَهُ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. Surely your wealth and your children are captivation, and near Allah is a great reward. Now, in the Arabic word fitna means captivation. In Urdu, it means something destructive. You see, the same word in Arabic, fitna, if you translate, if I say the children are fitna, means is a troublemaker. In Arabic, it means captivation. You are captive because of the feelings and emotions toward your children. You are captive towards them. You are captivated. You understand captivation? Dil faribta. A parent is a dil faribta, a captivation towards their children. They are not a fitna creating trouble. In Urdu language, the fitna word is a person who creates trouble. But Arabic word fitna means you are captive towards your children because you have so much attachment and love for your children, so you become captive. And once you become a captive, you start doing what the child wants. You cannot withhold yourself by the orders of Allah or the governing ayahs, but you listen to the child. And because of your love, you let it go what he wants. So you must understand, every parent is a captive. Allah is telling us, with wealth you are captive. You want much of the wealth and you want that they are captive. I am captive to my child. You want to, if you got money and wealth, you want to give him the best possible, more than you also, to your children. This is captivation. You can do it. But in the matters of religion, in the matters of the Quran, you must hold yourself. Otherwise you are losing yourself. So that is why Allah says, surely your wealth and your children are captivation. That means you are captivated. You will like to do things which are not right in the nearness of God for your children. This is also, you are losing them and they are being destroyed. Surah Al-Imran 3 and Ayah 14, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب. Adornment for people is the love of desires for women and sons and heaped up heap of gold and silver and marked horses and cattle and cultivated land. That is the enjoyment of the worldly life, and the beautiful resort is near Allah. Now in this ayah there are 4-5 categories mentioned, that for men and women both are adornments. Adornments means that you have the love and desire for these things. Every man and woman have adornment for another woman. Every woman adorns another woman who admires or attraction. For woman also is a woman adornment, and for men and women both adorns woman, men and women both adorns sons. Sons. And then they adorn gold, heap of gold, you can see they want gold, silver, marked horses, means they are the Nasli horses and cattle and a cultivated land. This is the enjoyment of worldly life, and the beautiful resort is near Allah. So every man and woman adorn these things, and in our lecture today is the father and children relationship. So in this ayah there is a distinction of love and affections towards the son. Every man and every woman expects to have a son as a child in the whole world, because they are adornment. So you must understand what will happen. Every man and woman adorns sons, everyone wants sons. So the question is, there are daughters are also born. So what happens when a daughter is born somewhere? So Allah is describing the personality of people whom a daughter is born. Now this is a parent-children relationship, remember this. Surah An-Nahl 16 and ayah 58 and 59. وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدٌ بِالْأُنْثَى ظَلَّ وَجْهُهُ مُسْوَدًّا وَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. When good news is given to one of them with a female, his face is overshadowed with blackness and he is suppressed with inward grief. It is not referring to man only, it is men and women both. Allah says whenever the good news is given to one of them with a female, when a female child is born, the behavior of certain men is, or woman, his face is overshadowed with blackness and he suppressed inward grief. He is not happy or she is not happy that I have got a child, a woman child. And further it says about the same personality, يَتَوَارَى مِنَ الْقَوْمِ مِنْ سُوءٍ مَا بُشِّرَ بِهِ أَيُّمْسِكُهُ عَلَى هُونٍ أَمْ يَدُسُّهُ فِي التُّرَابِ أَلَا سَاءَ مَا يَحْكُمُونَ. He pretends keep secret from the people with badness. What good news was given with it? Does he hold to it on disgrace or shame? And he buries it in the dust. What a bad behavior with what he governed or judged. Now in this world, when a female child is born, this is the behavior of some people. This is the behavior. He pretends, he thinks that everybody is happy when son is born. Even in a maternity home, the nurses are happy, the doctors are happy. Believe me, every nurse, every doctor are happy. And about the girl, even nurse is not happy, the doctors are not happy. So this is what I'm saying, and especially the father or the mother. It said that black is over, the news comes to them as a child, girl is born, that happens, the face is overshadowed. The face is overshadowed with blackness, suppressed inward grief. Ladki ho gayi. You see, this is the behavior of those people. He pretends, he pretends, keep secret from the people with badness. He pretends that I'm happy. He pretends when badness is got. What good news was given with it? Does he hold to it disgrace or shame? He feels it's shameful to have a girl born, and he buries himself in the dust. Matti pao, ho gayi to ab kya kare? What a bad behavior is that what they govern and judge. It's a bad behavior, Allah says, because it's a creation of Allah, the female. This is the behavior. So further, the same person, Allah says, who is that person? Surah Zukhruf 43:18. أَوَمَنْ يُنَشَّأُ فِي الْحِلْيَةِ وَهُوَ فِي الْخِصَامِ غَيْرُ مُبِينٍ. Is then who is being brought up in decoration luxury, and he is in the quarrelsome controversy other than clarification. The one to whom this good news was given, or the child is a female, so the behavior of this person is that he is the one who is being brought up in decoration luxury. He himself, who? The father or the mother? He himself was brought up in decoration luxury, and he is the quarrelsome controversy. The person who feels too much, if the child is a girl, he himself is a quarrelsome person and create controversy because of the inward grief. And he will be without clarification. Remember, this is very important point, that people who are brought up in luxuries in life, they feel much as compared to the people who are born in poverty, if the girl is born. The people who are brought up in decoration luxury, he is quarrelsome controversy. Khisam is the husband. He doesn't like it. So why I am telling you this? Because this is a big problem all over the world. All over the world. Men and women prefer sons, and they don't like if a girl is born. And why? Because Allah says, because they themselves are brought up in luxury, and further He also said that He wants to hide His face into sand, and he feels, inward grief, black shadow is on his face. He doesn't like why a girl is born. This is all wrong. And Surah Takwir 81:8 and 9. وَإِذَا مَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. And when she was buried alive, will be questioned with which sin she was being killed. Now there are two aspects of this verse. Either you killed physically, that in India they say the girl is born, they killed. You know that? They are physically killed. When they find out, even if they found in the mother's womb, they kill. Or after the production, they kill. So Allah says, when she was buried alive, and in this world, if they are in the same house with the sons, they are treated it says that she is not given the attention and love and compassion as compared to the boys. You parents are not giving the same love and affection and equality to the daughter as compared to boys, because boys are adornment, but that doesn't mean you leave them out as insignificant to an unimportant person living in the house, the daughter. So this is very wrong behavior between parent-children relationship, that we must not realize the daughters that they are insignificant. No matter Allah,